Jack Smith wasn't pardoned. Alvin Bragg wasn't pardoned. Fannie Willis wasn't pardoned. All of them should be subject to investigation. Declassification of records concerning the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Martin Luther King. So this is a transparency initiative by President Trump, and obviously there have been folks who have been interested in that. Certainly we have. We sued on behalf of a journalist to try to get access to records related to the JFK assassination that were, I think, in the files of RFK. And we have a FOIA now pending for the JFK assassination file. So it'll be interesting to see what's released here. Holding former government officials accountable for election interference and improper disclosure of sensitive government information. So, as Judicial Watch exposed, the CIA, working in concert with the Biden campaign, organized this letter by 51 former intelligence officials, all of whom I think had security clearances, to throw cold water on the Biden laptop story by falsely suggesting that the material was false and the part of a Russian disinformation campaign. And what they did was they used the credibility of their national security clearances to lend campaign support to Joe Biden. And Joe Biden cited their false material or their false letter in the debate with Trump. Judicial Watch sued for information on this and found the CIA rushed through the pre-publication review process of that letter in a way that would never have been done unless they needed to provide campaign support for a candidate they liked. Again, further indication that the deep state hated Trump. And what Trump has done was, we saw what you did there, security officials. You're losing your national security clearance. Important executive order in that regard. National security is damaged by the publication of classified information. Wait, let me get to the quote here I want to go. The signatories willfully weaponized the gravitas of the intelligence community to manipulate the political process and undermine our democratic institutions. The fabrication of the imprimatur of the intelligence community to suppress information essential to the American people during a presidential election is an egregious breach of trust reminiscent of a third world country. Think Trump is right. These people can't be trusted. And if you can't be trusted, you're going to get a national security clearance. It's simple as that. I'm sure they'll sue. One of them will sue to get the national security clearances back. But he did the right thing here. Ending weaponization of the federal government. So obviously he's stopping the weaponization of the federal government. He's been a victim of it. Interestingly, he ordered also a study, or at least an analysis, to review the activities of all departments and agencies exercising civil or criminal government authority in the United States, including but not limited to the Department of Justice, Security Exchange Commission, and Federal Trade Commission, over the last 4 years, and identify any instances where there is departments or agencies' conduct appears to have been contrary to the purposes and policies of this order, and prepare a report. So what I like about that is that's the beginning of a prosecution. Now, if I were Trump, I'd just appoint a special counsel to investigate this, separate and apart from the FBI and the State Department. Investigate. Jack Smith wasn't pardoned. Alvin Bragg wasn't pardoned. Fannie Willis wasn't pardoned. All of them should be subject to investigation. Reforming the federal hiring process and restoring merit to government service. No more special hiring for people based on race and sex and other characteristics that are discriminatory. Simple. Establishing and implementing the President's Department of Government Efficiency. So this was interesting because I was curious how that was going to work, because there was talk of this Department of Government Efficiency, and the question is, was it going to be a nonprofit? Was it going to be an entity outside the government? Was it going to be within the government? How was it going to work? And the challenge for them, if it was a government nonprofit, if it was a nonprofit separate from the government, they really wouldn't have any, at least my understanding of the law, it would be harder for them to have any influence on government operations. They would have no more government influence than we would. Now, if they had more government influence, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would be kind of hard to manage. And if they're advising the president, and there are all sorts of people involved in the advice of the president, there's this law called the Federal Advisory Committee Act, which could be used to constrain their activities, because that law is a law that says that when the government creates what is called a Federal Advisory Committee, there has to be transparency and an effort to encompass all views in an advisory committee designed to advise the President of the United States, which is a transparency law. And we've sued the Cheney Energy Task Force under that. Now, they've avoided having to deal with that by making the Department of Government Efficiency essentially an office of the White House. So that's what's interesting about that. So they don't have to worry about the Federal Advisory Committee Act. And now supposedly Elon Musk has an office in the White House. So we'll see. Maybe, I'm hoping there's a lot more government efficiency as a result of this executive order. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.